Well, good morning, students. A warm welcome to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir, back to our English class. And today we are going along with the vocabulary building. We are going along with the introduction of new words using phrasal verbs, idioms, or a little complicated words. We've gone with the root words, how to go along with the root words and all these things. And here we have a small article on superstitions. So today's our class is Vocabulary Tricks Part 13, that is superstitions. In your vocabulary building sessions, I'm going along with articles, and today I'm going with the article 13. Vocabulary Tricks Part 13, Superstitions. We have a lot of things to speak about superstitious things. Man sometimes become very superstitious when anything bad happens to him. Fine students, before I could go for the article, I just wanted to give you an idea of why man is superstitious. I suppose you know what is the meaning of superstitions. Believing in wrong things happening according to the stars ruled over us, or a particular period of time where the stars, ill stars, are affecting, the shadows of the stars are affecting on us, and that is the reason why we behave, or all the things to us is having a negative impact on us. But what are these superstitions, and why did this kind of culture and custom been inculcated into us? Why should man be superstitious? Well, students, for that, first of all, I have to tell you about educational system. Fine. Educational system is thrifolded, students. Education system is thrifolded. Okay. Now, the first type of education is monocentered. What is the meaning of monocentered type of education? Monocentered education. Mono means one, and the entire educational system is centered on one. And what is that one? It is the guru. Now, whatever the guru says, guru means teacher. Whatever the guru says, whatever guru educates, in upon a time, they used to consume from the guru and they used to learn from the guru, and this happened in idealism. This happened during idealism, idealistic type of education. Now, I need to tell you what is this period. Man was a wild animal. He lived in the caves and on the trees just like any other wild animals in the forest. And he was a wild animal. So, now to tame him up, in this idealistic type of education, the gurus used to teach him a lot of morals. Moral science is the biggest part of education, biggest subject, like how you have your maths, physics and chemistry today, like that. Moral science is a big part of education. And they used to tell him a lot of morals, and they said, if you do like this, this sin is going to wrap you up. If you do that, God will be pleased with you and you will happily fly to heaven. So like this, heaven and hell, a lot and lot of things they used to tell. And man abundantly believed in the morals, in the moral science, and he believed if he does this mistake, definitely he will go to hell and there he will get punishments by Yama. And if he does good, definitely he will fly to heaven and there he will be rewarded with a lot of happiness. And he believes the soul is permanent and the body is temporary. So the gurus or the teacher used to teach abundant morals on him, and the reason why is man was wild and they wanted to tame him. The basic reason to introduce morals is to tame man out of his wild actions. To tame him out of his wild deeds. They didn't want man to be wild. So to tame him, they used to teach him a lot and lot of morals. And man abundantly believed in these morals, and he thought if he goes out of it, whatever the rules were instructed by the guru, if he comes out of it, then definitely he will be punished in the hell. So this is the first part of educational system, where the educational system is mono-centered. Next is bi-centered. Bi-centered type of education. Bi-centered education. What is the meaning of bi? Bi means two. And who are the two? The guru, which means the teacher, and the student. The guru and the student. Now in the previous slide I've told the center part of education is guru. Now I say the center part of education is both guru and the student. Now whatever the student is interested in, guru has to teach him. Okay? So guru or the teacher teaches of what the student is interested in. Of what the student is interested in. So now the educational system has become bi-centered, means both guru and the student are important. So now the student is interested in maths, teacher has to teach him maths. He is interested in physics, he has to teach him physics. He is interested in biology, he has to teach. He is interested in social, he has to teach. So whichever subject the student is interested in, okay, guru teaches what the student is interested in. Can be any topic. Any topic. Any topic he has to teach, like maths, like science, like social. So whatever the student is interested in, the teacher has to teach. Why? Because now student started observing things around him, and he was wondering like how the trees are growing big, how the different colors are existing on the flowers, how the flowers are giving fragrance, how the water is coming from the sky. All a lot and lot of doubts he had, and whichever topic he is doubted in, the teacher has to clarify. So this is the bi-centered type of education. So what you see from the idealism, the student has got attached to realism and naturalism. Now the student is introduced to this realism and naturalism. And so we are with different subjects. Whichever subject you are teaching, you are going with, whichever topics you are interested in, teacher has to teach him. So this is the two types of isms. Next is tri-centered. Educational system has become tri-centered. And today we are in the tri-centered educational system. Now tri means three. And what are the three? It is the student, teacher, okay, and society. So it comes like that. Okay, it is like teacher. Say for example, we say teacher here. Teacher, student, society, so now we are in the tri-centered type of education, that is teacher, student and society. Now it is no more the teacher's interest, no more the student interest, it is only the society's interest. Now what availabilities you have in the society, which jobs are awaiting, which kind of careers you can develop in society. So based on the careers of the society, you have to get educated. Your teacher, whatever subject he is interested in, no choice. Later student, whatever subject he is interested in, no choice. What subjects or what topics has a boom in the world? Which subjects or which topics are more important in the world? That gives a priority. So society, which topics are more important in the society? Student and teacher has to get educated to that type of this thing. So we are in a pragmatic world. What is pragmatic? Anything practical. Now I am learning this subject, I am very much interested, but is it giving me food? Is it giving me a salary? Is it giving me a career? No, then I don't do it. So man has become very practical today, and today he is in pragmatic world. So these are the four types of society: idealism, realism, naturalism, pragmatism. And our educational system also has changed according to the society. Now when man was in that idealistic type of world, and when he believes not in realism and naturalism, he doesn't believe in the society around him, he only believes in the eternal world. What is idealism? Man believes in the eternal world. That means hell or heaven. He believes abundantly in the hell or heaven. And he believes that the soul is permanent and the body is temporary. So then man, he was introduced with a lot of moral topics, and then man has abundant belief in what we call as superstitions. So vocabulary tricks part 13, superstitions, we are going to go for. And before I could go, I just gave you a little knowledge about what actually this or how man has become superstitious and what actually educational system is. Fine. Now let us go for the article. I just read out. Superstitions are due to the fear of the unknown and mysteries. Superstitions cannot be explained by any logical reasons or science. Primitive people were unaware about wonders of science. They used to believe that evil spirits and wrath of God cause disease. They offered sacrifices to ward off spirits. They sacrificed birds and animals to atone their sins. This fear gave rise to superstitions. People still believe in these superstitions. A black cat crossing one's path, cries of certain animals like dog are considered ominous. Certain days are also considered inauspicious. People consult an astrologer for starting something new. There is no place for superstitions in today's world. So, we should follow only those things which have a scientific basis. A superstitious person is always haunted by anxiety and unknown fears. There is a need to cultivate scientific outlook to wipe out superstitions. So, this is the article what we have for today. So, let us have a look into it once again. Superstitions. I've already gave you example of what is superstitions. Superstitions are due to the fear of the unknown and mysterious. Now, I've told you superstitions meaning is a widely held but irrational belief leading to good or bad luck. Widely held. Some people believe that after me entering into this particular house, my economical status went down. After me entering into this particular house, I become very rich. Or after this lady entering into my life is completely ruined. So these are called superstitious beliefs. They are widely held but irrational belief. You can experience things happening around you, and if you ask anybody, there's no answer. Yes, after certain times, some certain things happen to you, and there is no reason why. This is called irrational. They are irrational beliefs. You start thinking from that time, after that person entering into my life, or after me entering into that particular place, these things are happening to me. And they're irrational beliefs of good or bad luck. So the meaning of superstition is, some unnecessary beliefs of some good and bad luck. He dismissed the ghost stories as mere superstition. Now some people say in that house there is a ghost. It's superstitious. It's the way your mindset is. There are no ghosts. We don't believe in it. So he just wrapped it out. He just wiped it out. Synonyms are myth, belief. Fine. We believe in certain things. So we have superstitions are due to fear of unknown, mysterious things. So when some mystery, without any logic, when something happens, we automatically believe one after another, or bad things happening. Yes, after me coming into this house, from that time only these things are happening. You automatically have a superstitious belief. That is called mysterious. Superstitions cannot be explained by any logical reason or science. And the bigger problem is you can't explain why it is happening. It just automatically happens to you. A spontaneous happening. But then you link it with something, and then you say because of that only this is happening. This is called a superstitious belief, and this happens when mysterious things which are unsolved, happens to us, then we will believe that these things are happening in our life. Primitive people were unaware about wonders of science. Primitive people who are not that literate, pre-literate people, half-knowledge people, what they do is, they don't understand the world. They will see that the water is pouring down. They don't understand the rain, the evaporation and condensation and all these things. They don't understand science. And so what they do, they believe that God is doing something for them, or evil is doing something for them. So these primitive people were unaware about wonders of science. Science have many wonders and they don't understand all these things. They used to believe that evil spirits and wrath of gods cause diseases. Some unknown happenings, curses, they believe God is angry with us, He is cursing us. So that is why we have all these bad things, bad days. So that is the cause of all the disease, they believe, and they start offering. They offered sacrifices to wrath of spirits. Wrath of means wipe off. Many bad things are happening to you. You will go and ask a Pandit astrologer, they will give you some thousands of rupees account, and they say purchase all these things, and then you do a yajna, yaga, or a homa, or whatever, and then people abundantly believe in all these things, and then they think that if they do this, all the bad things will be wiped off. That's called ward off. So they will think all the bad spirits are acting on you and they will be wiped off. They sacrificed birds and animals to atone their sins. To wash away their sins, they used to sacrifice birds, they used to sacrifice animals, and very, very unfortunate is, in olden days, people even sacrificed their children. They believe that if the son is sacrificed, eldest son or youngest son is offered to God, is killed and offered to God, God will be sacrificed, God will be pleased, and all their sins will adobe. All their bad things will be washed off. These kind of superstitious beliefs people used to have. They sacrificed birds and animals to atone their sins. This fear gave rise to superstitions. Now, what is going to happen if this I won't do, if this puja I don't perform, maybe this will happen, that will happen. This is the cause of superstitions. People still believe in these superstitions. Okay, fine. Primitive people, people who are not well educated, people who are half knowledge, fine. In olden days, who are in idealistic world, who has not entered into realism and naturalism, they had abundant belief in superstitions. Okay, it's accepted. Now you understand the world. You are not also in naturalism and realism, but you're in pragmatic world. Everything practically you are watching happening in front of you. You're a very practical man now. And still, how could you have belief in all these superstitions? Yes, even in this 20th century, when man is highly educated, technologized, in a robo period, still he is superstitious. Even if a black cat crosses your path, or if any animal howls, cries, say for example, a dog is howling in the night, yelling and howling in the night, you automatically believe that something inauspicious is going to happen. Ominous. It is considered as a bad luck. Certain days are also considered inauspicious. Auspicious is good days. Inauspicious are bad days. On this particular day, you're not supposed to do anything. They believe that that day is not good. Why did God give all these days to us? How can you say one day is not good and one day is not bad? One day is bad. And very, very astonishing thing is even the people are considered to be inauspicious. When a man has 2 children, he will feel that one child is good luck and the other child is bad luck. Now this is ridiculous. How can you think that a baby whom you have given birth to is your own blood, your genes? How do you believe that the baby is inauspicious? Unfortunately, even highly educated people believe in all these things. People consult an astrologer for starting something new. Not only that, they will also go speak to an astrologer and a good Shubh Muhurt, what they say, auspicious time they will ask him to take, and they will start all the good things. There is no place for superstitions in today's world. Today we don't believe in all these things. We are highly educated, we are connected to science, and happenings to us, good and bad, is a part and parcel of life. Whole time you have day, you get irritated of the heat of the sun. Whole time you have night, you get frustrated of the darkness. Everything should be balanced in your life. A little darkness, a little brightness. That means a little happiness and a little sadness. Entire time you're only eating sweet, you start vomiting. You can't bear any more sweet. You need sometimes little hot to balance your taste. Then why not? When anything bad happens to you, you immediately consider it to be inauspicious. So this man has to understand. There is no place for superstitions in today's world. So we should follow only those things which have a scientific basis. Anything which is scientifically correct, you have to accept it. Otherwise, don't accept it. A superstition person is always haunted by anxiety and unknown fears. Haunted, he's hunted. Every minute he will be with fear shrinking. He's worried what bad is going to happen to him. He can't live with a free mind. He's always clouded up with unnecessary thoughts. So this is what happens to a person who is very, very superstitious. Okay? There is a need to cultivate scientific outlook to wipe out superstitions. So we have to cultivate, we have to plant in scientific knowledge, and we have to depend on scientific knowledge, and we have to believe in the scientific outlook. And we shouldn't be any more superstitious. So this is what we have the article of. And now we will go with words with meanings and additional examples. I've already explained you superstitions. Now we'll go for mysterious, difficult or impossible to understand. What is mysterious? Something which is very, very difficult to understand. Something which has no logic and we don't understand how it is happening. His colleague has vanished in mysterious circumstances. Very, very mysteriously. You will be seeing some mysterious movies where people start disappearing, people start suddenly dying, and then they believe there is a ghost, etc. But when you investigate, you find a criminal or you find a psycho doing all these things. So, unfortunately, even I've already told you in the article, there are so many wonders in science. You must have studied your chemistry, the games of chemistry, or your physics. What wonders the games, you will show, like how the water rises, or how the color changes. All this is chemical bondage. Now, because man was illiterate and he'd never have the scientific knowledge, he used to think these are all wonders, something happening by evil or by God. No, this is actually the bondage of, or a chemical bondage of science. So, once when we have the knowledge of, a good knowledge of science, then we will not go for all these things. Puzzling, strange, peculiar, curious. These are the synonyms for mysterious. Next one is primitive, relating to or denoting a pre-literate non-industrial society or culture. I've already told you what is primitive. Primitive is a person who is pre-literate. Non-industrious. Industrious means a man who is practically a scientific person. No, when you are working with machines, you understand the system of science. When you are not industrious in the society or culture, you are a half-knowledge person or a pre-literate person. Primitive people were more honest as compared to a modern man. Look into this example, students. Primitive people are more honest as compared to the modern man. Yes, true. Primitive people are more honest because they are innocent. They don't know how to manipulate. They are not corrupted. They don't know how to manipulate. So they are more honest. Whereas a man who is connected to science, he knows how to play the tricks. He is well educated and he knows how to manipulate things. Anyway, pre-literate, non-industrious are the synonyms of primitive. Wrath, extreme anger. Now, people used to believe God is very, very angry with them, and that is the reason why all the bad things are happening to them. And to satisfy God, he used to sacrifice animals and birds. That was in the article. So here, extreme anger. He hid his report card for fear of provoking his father's wrath. Father's wrath means father's anger. So the synonyms are anger, rage, fury, annoyance, indignation, and outrage. So these are the various different words along you have studied with wrath. Wrath means nothing but anger. Ward off means to wash away. Prevent someone or something from harming or affecting one. Not to affect you, you try to wash it off. A Turkish good luck charm is designed to ward off evil spirits. A Turkish good luck charm. You will be purchasing all these things, you'll be hanging in front of your main door and you'll think all the good luck will be coming into my house, or the bad luck will be wiped off, wrathed off. It will not allow you to enter into your house. They'll be pushed off. So what are the synonyms? Parry, avert, deflect, block, turn aside. So they will be turned away. Parry is a new word. Avert, aversion, avert. Deflect means reflect. Block or turn aside. ward off. Okay, we had ward off twice, sorry. Atone, make compensation. What is atone? An alternate. An alternate for. 11 years later, she may have a chance to atone for that sin. 8 years, 11 years later, now whatever sin, whatever mistake she has done, that will be washed off only 8 years afterwards. She will have a choice of wiping away that sin. So, expiate, make good, offset. What is the synonym of atone? It is expiate or make good, offset. Next is ominous, giving the worrying impression that something bad is going to happen. Ominous, something very, very bad is going to happen. An ominous silence means unknowingly you will get frightened with that silence. So ominous is something which is causing a worry in you. There were ominous dark clouds gathering overhead. Means looking into those clouds you'll understand, yeah, something dangerous is going to happen. So threatening, menacing, baleful, forbidden, sinister. So what are these synonyms, beautiful synonyms? You have threatening, of course, you know these words. Menacing. Menacing is something wrong. Menace, something wrong is going to happen to you. Baleful, something fearful. Forbidden, some evil forbiddance. You know, you have a worry in your heart. Sinister. So these are the synonyms. Now, inauspicious. Inauspicious is very simple. It's unlucky. This is nothing inauspicious in his house. Nothing inauspicious, nothing unlucky in his house. So what is the synonym of it? Sinistrous. Sinister means something bad. Fine. Astrologer, a person who predict further of future of others. A person who is predicting future of others. So somebody who's telling what is good and what is bad is going to happen in your future. He was advised by the astrologer to delay his departure. Now very, very stupidly, you know, your flight will take off at certain time. The astrologer say, no, till then it is a inauspicious time. After 5 minutes, you fly. There is no flight at that time. The flight will leave off. That's stupidity. So he was advised by the astrologer to delay his departure, to be slow at his leaving. Fine. Haunted. What is haunted? Showing signs of mental pain or suffering. You're tensed. You're worried. Something bad is going to happen to you. Okay. He had a haunted look in his eyes. Means he had that worried look. What is haunted? Worried. Some worried look you have in your eyes. The synonyms of it are tormented, anguished. Tormented, you know what is the meaning of tormented. Anguished, troubled, worried, disturbed. So all these things are the synonyms of haunted, of worry. So that's all we have for this day, students. We have completed on superstition, an article, and we have learned a lot of words today. We'll have another class on the other time. Thank you. Till then, have a nice time.